So, Masters, we will be talking about our topic, karma, which is karma. First thing comes is a doubt or negativity. Ki, oh my God, I have to go through it. And sometimes we feel that it is given. And, we feel that this is my destiny. So this question between destiny versus free will is a question which keep coming in front of us. So last time we talked about that how we have different karma in the sense, and we can have different perspective. So from body, mind, emotion, energy, if we look into this, then yes, you may have body as a physical karma, mind as mental karma, emotion is emotional karma, energy is energetic karma. And as human, we are in this, you can say, role in this life where we have the capability of impacting. Because we have moved from mineral world to plant kingdom to animal kingdom and then human world. Now, this is where the change, you can say comparatively, you have more capability of handling it. And this is where our past, present, the knowledge that we have, right? So if we really review our day, our week, our month in the past, and you do introspection, how many things are really happening consciously? That means how many actions you are doing consciously and how many are just happening. Like you drive to work. Sometime you reach, doesn't matter even if it was a 1 hour drive. And you don't know half of or most of the part of the journey, what happened, because it's so mechanical, right? It's so mechanical that every day you're going to drive on the same road, same thing. You are whether having coffee or you're just listening to music, you are driving and you have no idea what exactly happened. Once you reach office, you're thinking, 1 hour gone. I didn't realize. Again, part of it is we are not in the moment. You're always doing multitasking and then you have no idea. So it's happening, not consciously, it's happening. So life, same thing happens. Single digit or maybe just couple of percentage is happening consciously. Rest more than 95%. More than that is just happening automatically, means it's just going on. Like we say, most of the thoughts are what you had day before, yesterday, right? So similarly, things happen. So karma, what is karma? It means action. This is to make your life simple, not complex. However, when we think of anything karma, and then we feel it is most of the time taken in negative context or negative kind of relation, that I'm going through this tough time because of my past karma. So different ways we'll try to look into it. One experiment is like, if we say something to a person who's sleeping in a language that even he doesn't know, and then under hypnosis, later on, if the person is asked and the person is able to repeat those sentences, you may wonder how. Right? Because the person doesn't know the language. Person was sleeping when we were, saying those sentences, yet the person is able to repeat. This is where, your conscious, subconscious, the brain kind of thing comes into play. People get stuck on what is good, what is bad. And the first thing comes is, oh, we should do more or we should only do what is good. And they create kind of affinity towards it, that, okay, I must do these kind of things. Why? Because this is good. And then they decide, okay, the other things, set of things which are bad, and they will avoid it. They will avoid it. So they may create affinity towards something and there will be some aversion. So what happens is now you are stuck. You are creating your own mess. And this is happening with most of the people, most of the time. There is a reason why karma exists. Karma is nothing action. You have to take action. If we look with respect to soul plan or purpose of life, you are here with a purpose. So not taking any action is not an option. To complete that purpose, you have to do certain things. We call good or bad based on the society. A successful person is the one who has, success in business, job, sports, music, whatever that may be. And we say, yeah, this person is successful. See, the person won a gold medal in this event. Perfect, winner. Just because our definition of success is such. Person tried, did not succeed, whether in, again, career, whether in any other thing. And we say, oh, he's a failure. But that is based on society. Based on soul plan. If the person is here to experience lack, it could be lack of relationship, lack of money, lack of whatever. That means the purpose is to experience lack. Nothing wrong in it from the purpose perspective. If we combine it with the law of balancing of karma, that means I'm balancing means one time I will experience lack, one time I will experience abundance. So I have experienced or I will experience abundance. This time I have to experience lack. That means I will experience lack. I don't have, say, relationship. Everybody runs away from me. I'm experiencing lack for a reason. But everybody may think, oh my God, look at this person, such a failure or poor, or they will have pity or sympathy with you, thinking that you're a failure in a way. But if that's what my plan is, then that's what I'm experiencing. From that definition, nothing wrong in it. So there is a difference between what is accepted in good or bad in society versus if we look into from the soul plan or purpose of life. If we start thinking this is good, I will only do this, these are bad things or considered negative, I will avoid, then I'm creating my own mess because I may be deviating from my soul plan. That means I will never, in my mind, I should never experience lack because that's not good. But that's half the story. To complete the chapter, to close the book, I have to do both. So karma is a dynamic thing. Karma is a way to live. Karma must happen because karma means actions. If you want to be your own, guru, you want to be your own, creating your own destiny, your future, you have to take certain action. That means you will be commanding your body and mind, not the other way around. For that, you'll have to take actions. Otherwise, everything is happening accidentally. Everything is happening unconsciously. So, and we have the power. We have the most in all the kingdom. We talked about mineral world, plant kingdom, animal kingdom, human. And that's why we say human being. That's why you don't call animal being or plant being or mineral being human being, because we have the most capability of being. So from that perspective, we can really use our command on our body and mind and make certain changes. Command means I can be more powerful, means I'm above. So body and mind are not dictating what I will be doing. I'm dictating what I want to be. Spirituality helps you. Spirituality takes you to a place where you understand these topics. And you are not doing out of fear. You are not doing out of that, oh my God, this is right or this is wrong and I'm creating my own mess. I'm working. So let's understand a little more. And karma we can understand from another set of definition, which is sanchita, prarabdha, or kriyamana. So sanchita, this means it is accumulation of all the past actions from whatever lives we have already gone through. So these are all accumulated impact. Whatever we did in those lives, those actions created these karma. So that's the whole collection. It's a set of whole big library in all the lifetimes. We don't know how many, but all the lifetimes. These are the collection. That means these are the unresolved past action waiting to reach resolution. It's like you go to a library. There are hundreds of books waiting for someone to come and read. You pick one book, or you may pick a couple of books, and you say, okay, this week I will read these 2 or 3 books. So karmas are something like that. Sanchita is like a library. You have all the past actions that are not resolved, that they are waiting for you. Now, imagine, example of library. You go to a library. You cannot read all the books in one week. You have hundreds and thousands of books there. It's impossible to experience all the karma in one lifetime. So what are you going to do? Just like the library experience, you go and you pick a couple of books and you say, these are the ones I want to read now. Similarly, from this whole setup of Sanchita, you will say, okay, I will be picking couple that in this lifetime, I want to work on this. Those are Prarabdha karmas. So Prarabdha karma, in other words, are the collection from the past, from the big library, Sanchita karmas, that you have selected to experience in this present lifetime. So these are the present actions that you have to go through these experiences to resolve those situations coming from your past. So those are Prarabdha karma. So out of big pool of karmas, we picked some. So from Sanchita, we picked Prarabdha. Then third, Kriyamana, or sometimes it's called Agami. That means is everything you are doing in the current life. In order to work on Prarabdha, which is from the past, you are taking certain action. Every action is again creating new karmas. So in this current life, in order to resolve, your actions are also creating new karmas. Eventually, these will also go back to Sanchita. For next life, these will become a source of input. That means these will go and join the big library. And consequently, will be available as a pool of karmas to be picked up in our next lifetime. That, okay, what do you want to work on in the next? That means your present actions will be shaping your future. So this cycle goes on, and that's why we take rebirth to work on certain karmas to resolve them. As we attempt to resolve, we create new, and it adds, and of course depends on how much you are resolving successfully, how less you are creating new karma. That will decide your library is increasing or decreasing. That means it is expanding or contracting. If you can finish more books, then adding new books, your number of books in the library is shrinking, which is good in this case because it's karma, less things to resolve, and you are moving towards mukti, toward moksha. So it's not like, okay, in one lifetime, I'm going to read everything and I'll be done with it. You will be creating, you will be taking some action, there will be some new karmas, and this is not possible that you resolve everything in one lifetime. That's why you pick, you work, and you move on. So what's important here is to understand the process, understand this is how the system is designed in our favor in order for soul to evolve, for soul to improve consciousness, for soul to improve the energy, frequency, whichever way we take it. And hence we move towards nirvana, mukti, moksha, whichever way you say. Now, let's look at it from the other perspective. Karma is not fate, it's our duty. We have to do it. It's not like, okay, what can I do? Like we say to our genes, oh, it's genetic, it's in my family. I'm, you know, we play the victimized role. Oh, what can I do? My grandfather had, my father had, I will end up having it too. No, you change your thinking, your thoughts, you change your lifestyle, you can impact your genes. Meditation can impact your genes. Spirituality can improve a lot of things. So it's not a done deal. It's not your fate. It's in your hand. If you do or not do, that's up to you. So in this life, if you experience it gratefully, if you accept and learn from it, resolve things, then yes, otherwise it's a waste. So there are three categories. There are karmas which cannot be changed. You have to face it. Dhira karma. Adhira, they are not fixed. There could be some solutions. You can reduce the impact, but you will face them. So dhira, yes, you cannot change them. They will come as is. Adhira, they are not fixed. You can have some solutions to reduce the impact. Adriya is the one which is not fixed. You can change easily. If you work, if you have a strong mind, strong will, you can change it. Like, for example, weight. You want to reduce the weight? Yeah, you can do. You can do dieting. You can do change your lifestyle. You can change your thoughts and you can reduce your weight. These are actionable, achievable things. Those you can do. Sometime I know you go to a different uh, set of people, whether numerology based, sometimes you go and you believe in your birth chart and you work accordingly and you find solutions. What can we do? And sometimes people say, okay, do this, do that. There are different things. What are they trying to do? They're trying to reduce the impact of the hero karma. That means you will face it, but the impact will be reduced. So this is the science. You believe or not believe, that's a different story. Depending on the person you're talking to, how knowledgeable, how deep kind of understanding the person has, this is the background where it comes from. When you take a look at your birth chart, this is what it is telling you. At the time of birth, probability is all probability chart. Nothing is guaranteed. Why? Because your actions will be impacting as you live your life. At the time of your birth, probability is that this is your destiny or this is your path. Your birth chart also says information about previous life, that certain impacts or karmas or situations. I mean, it won't give you the story, but it will, the person who can understand can give you that interpretation, what kind of impact you may have in your life based on the energy you are getting it from previous lives, which is karma. So these are the things which are interrelated. These are not standalone things. There's a science behind it. Now, if a person is proper knowledgeable and that person can interpret it nicely. But these are three things. So yes, it's not that everything you cannot. There are three categories. Certain things you cannot, certain you can reduce the impact, certain you can change easily. So that's why we should not be fearful. Understand, live your life gracefully, resolve things as it comes. And resolve means what? The energy, the soul has to experience. And then you have to change it. Now, sometimes the trauma, the tragedy is such that it's difficult to understand that how come. Sometimes it's so painful for parents to go through, a miscarriage. And if you think from the situation, you don't want to listen to anything because it's so painful. But if you think from the soul plan, purpose of life, karmic depth, there are lessons, there are things that you need to feel. So it's not a question of good or bad karma. It's a question of the experience the soul wanted to have, the soul of the baby and soul of as a parent. They both have different requirement. They had a kind of contract, soul contract, what we say, and then they go through it. So it's not just karma is bad or karma is good, it's a matter of experience. So rather than good or bad, take it as experience, work on it. The more you resolve, you're reducing the number of books in your library to be read. And that's the most important thing. If you are going through some hurt, your body, your mind, your soul, you may learn the hurt which you may have given to someone else in the previous life, or it may be coming in the next life, balancing of karma. Learning the lesson is the key. So that's why I always get to the root cause. What is coming? What is the message universe is giving? And that's very important. For learning the lesson, it's important to see what is repeating in my life. Right? There are certain things, like we said, you can reduce the impact. You can reduce the impact without anything by simply understanding. Because universe talk to us through events, cannot come and talk in our language. So if suppose I met with an accident, and if I can understand what it means spiritually, if I can change my course of action, I can avoid. Otherwise, what will happen? The universe has to bring bigger pain in my life. Still, I don't learn, it will be much bigger. I can avoid those if I have understanding of these topics, how it works. If I can stop that, the chain of events, then I'm reducing my suffering, pain, whatever we may call it. Because as human being, we say suffering and pain. But rather than going one after another set of events, if I can learn from the very first one, if I can complete my learning, then other events will not come. Otherwise, the bigger events will keep coming in my life. And that is how you impact. So it's again not a question of bad karma, what can I do? Understand these, the whole process, how it works, and you can change. So sometimes, that's why we say there are people who just don't want to change. You will see, you have friends, families, and around you, and they will not change. They will keep whining whole day and all those things. And that is full of negativity. And sometimes, people will say, hey, avoid such people, because those negativity is coming on you. Those negative energy is coming on you. You don't worry. You don't want to change them. You can only share your wisdom, your knowledge once or twice. You don't just force them to change to positive. That's their karma. That's their learning. Who to be associated with, what energy you want to take from others, that's certainly up to you. Doesn't matter, they may be your own relatives. How much you want to interact. Every interaction is energy exchange, simple. Based on our karmic account, we meet people, different people come in our life. The closer they are in relation, the higher energy exchange takes place. Some people may come for just some minutes, some hours, some days, and they may give us one very big impact, a lesson or certain change in the events or change in our path, whichever way. But their role was only for that particular action. So we should not be feeling bad, oh my God, such a good friend. Now, the person is gone, change the city, change the company, change whatever community. Uh, the role, our interaction was only limited. But we keep meeting different people based on again, the whole planning, which we call soul plan or purpose of life. Meditation helps in putting aside the ego. And why it is so important? Because unless you put aside the ego, understanding these things becomes very challenging. Because somehow in this lifestyle, the logical, the scientific mind takes us to a different direction. Now, what happens? Where the ego, where things comes is when you meet somebody for the first time, and suppose that first interaction was bad. So what happens when you meet the next time? It will be challenging. because now you have that experience, the first meeting, and now you have to overcome that negativity from the first meeting before you can develop some positive interaction or relationship. You may already be talking bad about this person, so next time you meet, now the same negativity comes in front of you. Whereas if the first meeting had gone good, then the second one, you have already overcome that challenge and you may be ready to meet this person. So you can change your present karma with spirituality, means better understanding, better in interaction with every, I just call it interaction of energy. So meditation builds your spiritual stamina. So even if when you meet someone who is not so positive, you maintain your positivity, you radiate the positive energy. So one thing which comes to our mind that, okay, how can I change? What can I do? So remember, you can always change your story, rewrite your story. That means something has happened in the past. Again, you may be not ready to forgive. You may not be ready to, it may be forgiving yourself or others, whichever way, but you are not ready to accept and move forward. Rewrite the story. In your mind, imagine all those historic events happen differently, the way you wanted or the way it should happen, and overcome that pain. But you don't have to just think, but you have to feel, you have to behave, you have to stop criticizing, you have to stop blaming, cut down all those negativities, because any negativity is taking you more towards generating new negative energy in you, which means new karmas. If you can live feeling that new story, now you are rewriting your genes, your genetical behavior, the energy inside you. And that is how you change yourself. So when we talk about karma, how can we do the impact? Things may happen, right? Let it come. How you deal with it is in your hand. And spirituality or sadhana, meditation, pranayam, yoga, all these are the tools to strengthen, to create that energy around you. That whatever comes to you, you can take it as is, graciously. You can understand, learn from it, move forward. That's what the karma is all about. Karma is not about crying, running away, hiding, or just creating a shield that only a good actions should come in, or bad. That will create you more problem. Take it as it comes. You have to experience both. Only thing what is important is learn, close the chapter. Don't let it just rotate, 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 and come back to you. Otherwise, they will keep coming. They will keep coming with a higher intensity. And if anything is coming with a higher intensity, understand learning is not over. That's why it's keep coming. The moment you complete the learning, that negative situation will go away from your life. So rather than worrying about negative, positive karma, take action that it is in your hand. The whole destiny, whole result, the future is in your hand. And that is by improving your energy, shielding, rewrite the story, right? Anything you did wrong, start rehearsing that, things have happened differently, the way you want it, and overcome that pain, overcome that negativity, become positive, move forward. Because if you have learned, don't worry about, oh my God, I did this. Okay, done, lesson learned. That was the purpose resolved. So masters, this is what, when we talk about karma, which comes to our mind, which is a lot of negativity of fearness which comes, but there are simple ways that we can overcome, simple ways that we can create blissfulness in our life without being afraid, without being worrying about, oh my God, how this will happen and that will happen. So we will take your questions now. Thank you.